12 of the Knitorious podcast.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Kelly.
And this is our podcast about all the nitty goodness. And some spinning, and some dyeing, and just craftiness in general.
And some crochet rabbit hole.
Crochet rabbit hole happened.
Did it.
To both of us. It hurt her first.
Got me.
The pandemic.
Fell hard. So anyways, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Kwanzaa,
New Year.
Happy Winter Solstice. Happy New Year.
So excited. It's
Yay.
a new year.
It's January 5th.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, 5 days into the new year.
Yes.
And my dog's being very uncooperative today. He wants to be a co-star, but he's 100 pounds and he can't fit in.
He was literally sitting right here in my spot, just like sitting. It was really cute. I tried to take a picture, and wouldn't you know, he got up right then.
Nope, he's a star.
Star.
Yep,
But
the producer.
He's pretty humble, so he didn't want his picture. Rem, say hi.
Hey, hi, Bee.
Say hi, Remi.
Yeah, so there's Remi, the guest star of
He's just
today's
staring
podcast.
into my soul.
We call him Beans, but his name is Remi. He is a Great Dane Pipple mix. You're not going to be able to see him, except for this tiny little white spot on the top of his head. Anyways, so yeah, we are trying to get
he's
back.
gonna try to get on our laps.
Yeah, he has personal space issues and thinks he's a lap dog.
He probably really would.
Sometimes we call him Velcro. But anyways, so thanks for
You
coming
just turned
back.
on
If
me.
you are a returning viewer, if you are a new viewer, which I know we've had a few, thanks so much for checking us out. And if this is your first time, we hope you have fun, because that's what we're trying for.
And I have this ridiculous glare in my glasses, so sorry about that.
Mine's not as bad this time around.
But, you know, it happens.
So we might as well just get into it, right?
Okay.
Finished objects?
Finished objects. So pretty much, actually, all of my
All the
finished
Christmas
objects, are all Christmas knitting. So I don't have them physically to show you, but we will insert some pictures. The first one, I made a little bunny for my Nana, and I'll put it right here. And I showed you the in progress last time we
All the
spoke.
bunny parts.
All the bunny parts.
Dissection of a bunny.
She's now an actual bunny, and she's very cute. So there's
so
that. And then I finished my mom's Christmas socks
From your hand-dyed yarn, right?
from my hand-dyed yarn, and
So
she
special.
loved them. Yes, and they fit her perfectly, so. And I also made some little mini stocking ornaments. And
A ton of mini stocking ornaments.
I made like 4 or 5. It was really fun because you just knit like a sock, but then it's like a stocking.
But smaller, right?
Smaller.
Yeah.
And it just took an hour or so. So every night, the week before Christmas, I made a different ornament. So they make nice gifts.
I don't know, Remi must have had a rough day.
He is
He's
enjoying
just
this
all up
head
in our
rub.
business. My finished objects were also almost all gift knits. I made 2 of the triangular shawl patterns, which I showed on the last episode. That one was almost finished. And those were out of Karen Cakes from Michael's. And the pattern is actually on Michael's website. It's called the Knitted Triangle Shawl. I made one for my mother-in-law in neutral colors, and then one in some crazy blues and lime greens and browns for my husband's cousin. We went to Utah for Christmas and stayed at her ranch, so that was a thank you gift for her. And she is somewhat a part of the knitting community out there and knows quite a few people who knit. I think the best part, are you distracted by him? Do we need
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, let me look
He's
that
like trying to
face.
lick me.
Let me look that face. That's what he says.
I hope you guys can see his tongue.
It's gigantic. I love him.
Yeah, go lay down.
Oh.
Go lay down. Okay.
Oh, he's protecting us. So I don't know about you, but for me, the best part of Christmas knitting is obviously gifting it. It was so cool to see people when they opened something and realized that you had made it. And I think I picked knitworthy people to give gifts to because they all really understood like the amount of time and effort that goes into a knit gift. Both the triangle shawls that I gave to my mother-in-law and our my husband's cousin. And then I also gifted the Beatrix cowl, which is from one of the Mater magazines. I gave that to my sister-in-law, and she wore it every single day of vacation, and it was really, really cool to see my knitwear being out in the wild and keeping people warm. I also knit a crap ton of these little tiny coasters. I made 5 of them, which isn't, I guess, a whole lot, and didn't gift any of them because I forgot. They were for my coworkers. So next Christmas, I'm just going to tuck these away, or I might just keep them on our coffee table. Oh, Remi does the backup. So yeah, that was the gift knit. And I also was, I guess it's called commissioned when someone asks you to knit something as, like for payment. I knit one of those ridiculous messy bun hats. It was actually really fun, and it only took me one night. And I'm thinking about maybe making myself one as a guilty pleasure, because my hair almost always looks like this, and hats don't fit over that.
There you go.
So yeah, those are our finished objects.
Cool.
Next. Works in progress. Do you want to go first? Or are you going to eat that tea bag?
Yeah.
Just as a warning, Carrie and I are both trying the Whole30, which we'll talk about later, but we're on day 4, and the 4th day of not having sugar, your body really gets addicted to that nasty junk. And I
felt like I got hit by a truck this morning. Did you?
Not
I got
this
up
morning.
and I was like, ugh.
I felt good this morning, but now I'm like, and I'll take a Kit Kat, please.
I would like some chocolate.
I wanted a hot
some
chocolate
ice
after work so
cream,
bad.
Some peanut butter.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have some almonds and some tea. Just like chocolate bars.
Yeah. Tastes just
like
like chocolate.
So, which one should I show first? Oh, the possibilities. I'll show this one. So, I decided to do the Cozy Schlanket Cow by Mina of the Knitting Expat. And should I show my colors first?
Yeah.
Or should I show those at Stash?
No, just show them now,
Okay.
and we can talk about it.
So,
We went to Flying Fibers, which is our local yarn shop. Hi, Irina. Hi, Jerry.
hi. So, you can't, I don't know if the light's going to be that great, but this is the one color, and they don't have names. They're just numbers. Boo. It's Cascade 220 worsted weight.
Heather's,
So,
right?
I think so, yeah. This is like a, what would you call this, like maroon, reddish?
Merlot?
It's not red.
Cranberry?
It's more maroon. It's beautiful in person. I don't think it's really capturing on there. And then this one's a heathered gray. And this one really isn't capturing well. This has like purple, right? It's like purpley red. It's like a deep purpley red. And it's also kind of heathered. So, I was super excited. It took us like 20 minutes standing in front of the wall. And it's a good thing Kelly was with me because it's really hard to make up my mind.
All the combinations you were picking, though, were cute. It was just like these ones were, she had light tones, and then she had like warm tones and cool tones. And so there weren't any that I was like, oh God, that's awful. But there were definitely ones that were more seasonal.
Yeah. So this is...
It's knitting up so nice.
I'm so excited. Oh, wait. Let me say this first. I already showed it, though. If you don't want a spoiler, if you're doing this cow, just look away now, okay? So I did clue 1. I want the light to catch it. Oh, that's pretty good. So I did clue 1. I finished it last night. It knits up super quick, probably because this was the smallest section, so I think it'll start taking longer. But, oh my gosh, you guys, so super fun to knit. And this feels really soft.
It is. It blocks really nice, because this is what I made Caitlin, my sister-in-law, her cowl out of. I blocked it, and it's so, so soft.
And I don't think I said, but it's Peruvian Highland wool. So I've basically started this. When did we go?
A giant mustache.
It is. When did we go to the yarn shop? Was that on the weekend?
New Year's Day? Weekend?
It's only been a few days. I've knitted on it like once per day when I get home from work, and I'm already done the first clue, and it's only Thursday, so that's exciting, and I can't wait to see what other clues she comes out with.
Right?
It's going to be big. It's a blanket shawl, a schlanket.
This section reminds me a lot of the campsite shawl that I knit over the summer that I wear every day at work.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy, so...
Those colors are so cute too.
Yay!
Yay!
Thanks for sharing that pattern, Mina. Well, it is a paid pattern, but you know.
So my current work in progress Well, actually, this is a half object, I guess. Except for the ends being sewn in. My Christmas Eve cast on!
Oh, I have one too.
So this yarn is Deborah Norville collection. I got it at Joann Fabrics. And it's self-patterning. I can't say that word.
Self-patterning?
Patterning. And there's
self-striping?
The color is called Chili.
It's beautiful.
Which makes no sense to me. Because to me, chili is red and has beans in it.
Yeah.
But I actually was going to make these socks for my mom. I had knitted half a sock. And she was like, I said, oh, I want to show you your Christmas present because I wanted her to try them on because the last socks I made for her were too tight. And she tried them on and she's like, oh, they're pretty, but I don't really want socks. She goes,
yeah, that's
I know.
right. I remember.
She was like, it's too pretty to put on your feet, which I totally understand because I've looked at certain yarns and been like, that can't be socks. I need to put it on my face. But then you realize that you just keep thinking that, and then the yarn just keeps sitting in your stash. So I ripped out the whole sock, and she wanted wrist warmers. She's a mechanic, so she needs to have access to her fingers, but also keep her hands warm. So I made her wrist warmers in the same yarn, and I actually had enough to do a pair of socks and enough for my crochet blanket. So these were my Christmas Eve cast on. If you follow me on Instagram, I had a little bit of a problem. I went to cast on at the Philadelphia airport, and the needle tip came out of my 9-inch circular cable. Like, pulled out right there at the gate. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they don't sell knitting needles. And then I got out to Utah, and we tried to super glue it, but I didn't get the tip pushed in the whole way. So then there was a ridge, and it kept catching, which was an excuse to buy myself some new wooden DPNs. I like the wooden DPNs. I'm not huge on them, but I bought them because I was worried about security at the airport letting me through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get stopped for anything. Chris, on the other hand, side note, forgot that he had a heat patch on his back because he hurt his back snowshoeing. And he went through the body scanner and it showed up like he was hiding something. So they like pulled him aside and made him do the pat down. And here it was just whatever.
Did they make him take it off?
No, they let him keep it on, but they like felt it up and saw that it was just like the whatever material keeps it hot. Funny. It was so funny because I saw his x-ray and it's like this with a huge black patch on his back. Like, they thought you were smuggling. But here with my knitting needles, there was no issue. So if you are traveling, wooden DPNs were absolutely no issue. I didn't travel with metal because I just didn't want to get hung up because we were traveling with a large group of people. So yeah, these were my Christmas Eve cast on. I finished this one on the way to our departure flight from Utah back to Pennsylvania. And then this one was mostly done on the plane ride back and then at my lunch breaks this week. So yeah.
I did a Christmas Eve cast on too. I used... What's her name? Bullenvine. Kristen from Bullenvine.
Yarngasm podcast.
This is her Stellar Banshee colorway. And it's just beautiful. I posted so many pictures of the hank before I wound it and the cake after I wound it. And this is, I did the Hermione Everyday sock. Hermione's Everyday sock
hold it up.
Pattern. And this was my first time doing this pattern, and I really love how it came out with this yarn color. And
so pretty.
I personally love this pattern. Like, I was telling Kelly, I think I want to just knit this sock all the time because it's so fun to knit, and it's really easy.
KT from Inside Number 23 was saying she just started a pair of Hermione's Everyday socks, and she's like, these are my go-to socks.
Yeah.
I like them because they're not super intricate, but the pattern turns out really cute.
It's super cute.
Especially with speckled yarn.
So,
Adorable.
I cast them on Christmas Eve, and I was sitting with my Nana and my Pop-Pop, and we were watching Christmas movies, and it was just nice. So,
good.
That's that. And then I do have, I'm still working on the other one. It's been put on hold. I did the heel flap, but I've been working on my pattern. Yeah. Yes, it is. So it's a really pretty.
Cute.
Well,
I like the heel flap. It's the eye of the partridge.
Eye of the partridge. Yeah.
It is the eye of the partridge. It's the no. You always want me
Remi
to
likes
sing.
it.
Other works in progress. Oh my goodness. So I watch the Legacy Knits podcast pretty regularly. And thanks to those two birds, I'm so far down the crochet rabbit hole. Look at it! And it just keeps going and going.
It could be a shawl.
I pledge allegiance to the blanket of the scraps of all the projects I've made. And to the legs, it will keep warm. That's all I have.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, we were doing the Pledge of Allegiance in social studies class, so I feel a little patriotic. But yeah, I love this project. And it's addicting. Start it now. That's all I have to say about this. I'm using a G hook, because it was the one on the top of the crochet hook drawer. And I'm almost down to the bottom of my bowl of minis of all the projects I've ever made and all of the mini exchanges I've ever done. Because I don't know, just keep going. Carrie started one too.
Kelly
It took a lot of...
got me to start one.
She just kept saying, I can't find my crochet hook. I offered her a crochet hook. I don't want yours, I want to find my own. And then she said that she didn't want to start it because she was doing other things.
I wanted to start it for a while,
And then
like
she
a
saw
while
mine.
before I did, and it actually just got done like a couple days ago, so it's very premature.
I think the
blanket.
hardest part is just that foundation chain. It's obnoxious.
This is what
Yeah, that part.
This is what I have finished. Here's my blanket.
It's so warm and cozy.
Ooh, this looks cute.
There you go. Just stop there. I don't know what it's called in crocheting, but bind it off. My other dog is trying to bust up in the house.
Yeah, so that's mine. It's really fun, though. This yarn is left over from Beautiful Mess. So thanks, Jamie.
Oh yeah, the blueberry waffle socks you made for a trunk show.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. I love that you can fold it now. I can fold it. I always thought about doing the Cozy Memories blanket, but I didn't like just the squares. This is right up my alley.
We like that you can use all the yarny scraps.
All the way to the very, very, very end.
It's like super cute and it's easy and it's so addicting. Like,
it is that motion.
I've
that
only done
1, 2, 3.
one little row.
1, 2, 3.
But
1, 2, 3.
I was telling Kelly, I like that it's just like easy to find like where you're putting it in and you just do it 3 times and it's so fun.
The only downside is I can't fit this in my project bag anymore.
It's definitely an at-home project once you get to that point.
Yeah. But it's so fun to have it out on the couch. And every time Chris walks by, he's like, oh, is it done? It's done for a 2-year-old. It's done for baby. I'm 5'11". No, it's not done yet. But I will be excited to add to this, like, when I finish projects and things, the same as people are with the Cozy Memories.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
I love it.
Cool. Do you have any other whips?
This Whole 30s, stupid, sugar, need it. No, those are all my works in progress.
Okay.
Well, I'm still working on those stupid striped Felici socks that I had
me too.
knit both socks and I had to take apart. They're my car knitting, which I haven't
That
been in
sounds
my car.
dangerous.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Moving on.
Oops, I did it again.
So this will be a combination of things that we bought and some Christmas haul. Because everyone loves a good Christmas haul.
I'm going to show
You can go first.
this. So, my friend Kristen made me this cute nitty bag.
It's adorable.
And I added these pom-poms. These
They're so
cute
cool.
yarny pom-poms that I got on another gift. And I think they totally make the bag. Like, I feel like they just belong with this bag.
They're very cute.
So, I love how you can just pull them to open it.
That's how a zipper works.
No, the pom-poms.
Oh.
Get out of here. No sugar. And then in here I have my crochet stuff. Remi is
We're looking
surveying
at
us
Remi.
from afar.
He's sitting
At the
take
top
a
of the
picture.
steps,
He's sitting
like-
at the top of the steps looking
Also, from my mom, I got a yarn swift.
upside down.
You're right, it is. I'm super, super, super in love with this. I used it for the first time to wind my Cascade cakes for the schlanket. And yeah, I've wanted a Swift for a while, and now it's like crazy how much quicker it is to wind with the Swift. I wound like 3 cakes in the time it would have taken me to wind one.
Yeah, I've been winding mini skeins using like my feet or my knees. It does take forever, so I finally was like, forget this, and I went upstairs and used my Swift and ball winder. So my oops, I did it again. I'll start with one that I got, I think before Christmas. Yeah, well this one is actually, I meant to show this a few episodes ago. In October, Chris and I went to Williamsburg for our 1-year anniversary, and on our way back we stopped at Fiberspace, which I think is outside of Arlington, Virginia, and I got this. It is Neighborhood Fiber Company, which I think is their local yarn dyer to the shop at Fiberspace. It's their Studio Sock Base, and it's 100% merino, and the color is Ziggy Stardust. And as far as I know, this is the color specifically dyed just for Fiberspace, because it has the colors of their logo. And Fiberspace is an awesome yarn store. If that was my local yarn store, I think that I'd be very, very poor, but very yarn rich. And yarn rich is the best kind of rich. So yeah, that was one of the oops I did it agains. That's a little bit older. It was not a Christmas acquisition. I actually didn't get any yarn for Christmas, except for the stuff I bought myself. This is another skein of yarn that I have gotten myself. This is a skein of Pack-a-Peds HT, which we've shown before.
Did you get it at that same shop?
No, I got this at Flying Fibers the day you went and didn't buy anything, and I bought this. You were with me. You picked it out.
I don't even remember that.
Never mind.
So because we go there all the time.
Has a main full-size skein for socks, and then a coordinating heels and toes color. And this is like my jam. Gray and orange. Burnt orange. Love it.
Does it have green in it too?
It's got a little hint of green. And it could be the light. It's called Wood Nymph.
That's perfect.
And that's when I also bought my other purchases. I went to... You see it?
Yep.
Blazing Needles, which is a yarn store in Salt Lake City, Utah, and they are awesome! They carry Quince & Co. and all of these other really, really, really nice yarns. So while I was at Blazing Needles, I bought the new issue of Making, which I'm obsessed with. It has recipes, it has stuff for drop spinning, it has patterns for awesome, awesome, awesome shawls. Melanie Berg is in here. She's super cool. So I bought that. And I also got my first skein of Regia. And this is the, oh yeah, I thought they named their colors. Color 03764.
Great.
In case you're interested. I'm excited to make these for spring socks. So those were my, I think, oh, the other Yarny acquisition I have. It's a woodland crochet set. It was on sale at Barnes & Noble. Giant red sticker. But now that I'm in the crochet rabbit hole, I thought, look at them cute little thingers.
Ever the educated one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's that. Those are all of the yarn things I bought.
Now we have our book bag. And we just generally talk about books that we're reading or books that we've just finished and share them with you and what we thought.
So I'm not normally an avid reader. I usually have to read just for school, and that's not always the most fun reading. So I took advantage of the flight and our week in Utah, and I read this whole book. This book is called Still...
Oh, I read that.
Still Alice.
Did you like it?
I loved this book. So...
It's a movie.
I noticed.
I've never seen the movie.
Hence the motion picture tag.
Did you see the movie?
I have not seen the movie. This book stood out to me because my grandfather passed away from Parkinson's, and there's a lot of things like that run in our family. And the main character in this book gets early onset Alzheimer's. And she is a professor at Harvard, and it talks about her journey from getting her diagnosis to trying to keep her job and then to transitioning to life after her career and what that means for her. And I think I read it in maybe 3 days, but it was really quick.
Good.
It's so good. And I love that it shows her thought process and also the thought process of the people in her life, like her husband and her kids, and how having a degenerative disorder like that really affects the person that has it and the family and the caregivers. Awesome book. Loved it. I think I'm going to give it to my mom to read next.
Cool.
Did you read anything over break?
So my reading's kind of fallen by the wayside because I've been knitting so much.
Knitting really gets in the way of your reading.
Seriously, though. But I'm in the middle of this book.
What is that?
So, Lauren Graham wrote a memoir. And it came out right when what do you call it? Gilmore Girls in the Life, or
Year in the Life.
Yeah. It came out right at Thanksgiving, and so did her book. And I love this chick. She is, I think she's the coolest person alive. And I'm like, I haven't read that too much of it yet. But I pre-ordered this from Amazon because I was so super excited. And now
what's it called?
It's called Talking as Fast as I Can, and it's about like stories from her life and kind of her journey through acting, and I think she's going to talk about like relationships and her time on Gilmore Girls and Parenthood and everything. So I think she's a phenomenal actor.
She was on Parenthood.
Yeah, I'm actually rewatching Parenthood on Netflix right now, and I love me some Lauren Graham. So if you love Gilmore Girls, do it.
Put it in your book.
Do it. It's worth it.
All right. Pod Nod. You got any?
I have been watching a lot of The Knitting Expat by Mina.
She's in New York City now. Welcome to the USA, Mina.
So I know that everyone already watches her, but I hadn't really seen much of her until recently, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's awesome. I love how down to earth she is, and I love her little kitties and all the projects she's showing and things. So, yeah, I really enjoyed watching her. And is there anyone else? Just the usual peeps.
I have a new one. I've started watching The Corner of Craft. She has a channel on Etsy. She has a channel on YouTube, and she does tutorials. She had the most adorable, tiny crochet reindeer that she did before Christmas, and she has a tutorial on that. But in addition to her tutorial, she also has podcast episodes now, and she's newish to knitting, and it's just fun to watch her, and I love her style. Her hair colors change all the time, and I can get down with a girl who has different colored hair all the time. And she has a nose ring, too. Power to the people with nose rings.
Yeah, you're basically soul animals.
I know. We're
spirit animals.
Soul animal. That is my soul animal.
It's new and improved. Soul animal.
All right. It's a drum roll.
Before we say this, well, yeah, go ahead.
We are going to Vogue Knitting Live!
Yay! So excited!
Yes.
It's not this weekend, but the weekend after, right?
Yes. And it's a thing. And it kind of all fell into place. My sister-in-law moved to Manhattan last year to start a job, and she's still living in the city, and offered us a place to stay for Vogue Knitting Live, and we could not make it to Rhinebeck this year because I was sick and the weather wasn't the greatest.
Boo.
And things just didn't work. But we're getting on a train on Friday, and we're going to Vogue Knitting Live!
Yay! So super excited.
We're scheduled just for the marketplace, which honestly, for the first time for me, that's all like I want to do. And then maybe next year I'll take a class or something. But I just want to like breathe in the yarn fumes.
I am just so excited to like go to New York City and walk around and not only that, but see like this huge event. And maybe we'll get to meet some of our fellow podcasters and some of you who are watching. So excited.
Yeah, so if you're watching and you're going, let us know on Instagram or something. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time.
Or comment down below.
Yes.
And be like, hey.
We're going.
If you see us, just
say hi.
say hi.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. We're just excited to be able to go. We will be there definitely Saturday and probably Sunday. And then we're taking the train back. It's kind of nice because we have a half day of school on Friday for in-service and
you do
no students on Monday for another in-service. So I get to ease my way back from a big fiber fumi weekend. So yeah, we're so excited to go to Vogue Knitting Live.
Yay.
Can't wait. I'll probably look like this with my hair. You'll be able to see me from a mile away.
Probs.
Right? Is that it?
Well, I wanted to talk about like some of our New Year's goals, like for knitting or just in general. Yeah. Well, we already talked about. Were you going to talk about that? Whole 30?
I'm only doing this because Carrie made me do it.
It's so much. This is my second time doing it. It's better with a friend. I think it makes it just a little less rough.
Yeah, it just gives you someone to complain with.
I wanted to talk about my knitting resolutions. So this year, last year I wanted to make a sweater. This year I'm going to make a yoked sweater, and I wish I would have brought my book because I'm pretty sure there's a yoked sweater in there that I'm going to make. But that's one of them, and I think I want to try brioche this year.
Good for yourself.
I know.
My knitting hopes for the year are to keep a better knitting journal. I have projects like written down in random places, and I honestly use Instagram as a beginning and end date for most of my projects, but I'd like to try out some of the journaling. And of course, being on Instagram, everyone started their bullet journals, and
I do not understand those at all.
It seems like you'd have to dedicate a lot of time to just journaling, which I get for some people is like centering and therapeutic, and that's time well spent.
I look at those pictures and I'm just like, what is that?
That is...
I don't understand.
Yeah, and there's blogs and Pinterest pages and stickers and
there's probably
podcasts and
bullet journaling.
I honestly just want to keep track of what projects I do knit because I was watching a lot of people that were doing their end of the year recaps. Like Mina did hers and KT did hers, and I'm thinking like I can't even remember the projects I made this year.
Kind of like a Goodreads.
Yeah, like
a Goodreads. Knitting.
But for knitting.
That's
and I'm sure
idea.
That's what Ravelry's for, but I have a hard time navigating Ravelry.
There's that.
I don't
that
think
little old thing.
I don't think it's like uber user-friendly on that end.
They don't tell you like by year, or do they?
I don't know.
Maybe there's
I haven't used it enough. Maybe it's better now. But honestly, to find the projects I knit, I was walking around my house like picking them up. Oh yeah, I made that this year. And I had a coffee cozy today. I was like, oh, I made that this year.
That is hard to do after the fact. Maybe I'll do that too.
So I'd really like to be better about tracking my knitting and using my stash. I think after Vogue Knitting Live, I don't plan to buy yarn until the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also I'm gonna start meditating. I'm trying to meditate every morning. Hands on the knees, but you're really close. There's a really cool app. It's called Headspace, and it's completely free. And this sounds like an ad, but it is not. It's 10 minutes every day, and I've been trying to do it in the morning because you're not supposed to connect like meditation with sleep. And if I did it at night, I know I would just fall asleep like, So it's crazy how much like calmer and relaxed it makes you feel. And I know I came grumpy to you today, but this morning I was like,
done it before you came over
maybe
here.
I should have done it twice today, but I did it this morning, and so that's a goal to do that every morning. So
we do meditation. I do meditation with my students. We use an app called Smiling Mind, and I like that one. It's also free, but it's grouped by ages, so you can get meditation scripts that are specifically for elementary age kids, middle school age kids, and then adults. So we do that one, and I think they're about 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, it is nice to just center yourself. Yeah. And I've noticed, this is totally blather now, just chat.
Yeah.
We had a meeting today at work, and it was just a like climate check on how things are going in our building, and quite a few teachers brought up the level of anxiety our students have right now, and how a lot of students are having to have accommodations to their day, and typically developing students, not just students with disabilities like the kids I work with, but kids across the board just have such high levels of anxiety. And I had brought up in the meeting, like, maybe we could find some time to offer mindfulness activities to the kids, or we have an 11th period, which is a study hall every day, making one of the rooms a quiet room and doing like a meditation activity, just so the kids leave without all of the baggage they carry around during the day. But it is really interesting. That's a good idea. Good for yourself. So,
yeah,
I'm really hungry.
Me
I
too.
need to eat.
Me too. So, we're excited for
Vogue
Vogue
Knitting
Knitting Live. Come say
see
hi to
us.
us.
And if we don't see you at Vogue Knitting Live, we'll definitely do lots of posting on Instagram, probably a Periscope.
Oh, what do we do when we go on trips? What do we call it?
Yarn Venture.
Yarn Venture! Ultimate Yarn Venture!
And we'll do an Ultimate Yarn Venture recap episode. So stay tuned for more.
Yay.
Thanks for coming.
Bye. Are you satisfied with your hairdo? Drink a little softer, please.
Jewel Fest.